Toronto lost 2 at home. Now they're in Seattle, and Seattle unfortunately loses the game, and Toronto comes out with their backs just swinging. So what did you see from the Blue Jays tonight that we haven't seen in the last 2 games?
Well, we saw some big swings. You mentioned the bats, 5 home runs tonight, but none to me bigger than Vladdy's home run. I think about if there's one guy that really gets his team going, it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 2 doubles as well added to that home run and a single himself. But I thought seeing them do a good job of attacking the fastball early on in this game, and then seeing Vladdy pitched almost differently in a sense. Like, he was pitched backwards, so still the same fortitude to understand I'm the big man in the middle of this lineup. I'm going to get some different pitches, and he still was able to attack those. You see the home run right there to center field, showing you that he's balanced, that he's staying on the baseball. And there's no bigger home run than they got than Vladimir Guerrero's today.
No doubt. All right, Xavier Scruggs is going to hang out with us for a minute here as we're going to show you the highlight of exactly what we just watched. And I'm certain that home run will be included in this highlight. ALCS Game 3, of course. Blue Jays and Mariners. Randy Johnson, the big unit, throwing out the first pitch before the game. Big unit doesn't look as big anymore. Why is that? Is it because he's not wearing the hat? I don't know. Bottom of the first, no score. Runner on for Julio Rodriguez. He just crushes one. Deep left field. 2-run home run, 112-mile-an-hour fastball just right off the bat. Rodriguez gives the Mariners the early 2-0 lead here. Hold up the, what do you call that thing again?
Detroit.
Yeah, thank you. Top of the third, still 2-0 here. Runner on for Jimenez. And he drives one deep right field. It's another 2-run shot. This highlight is going to include a lot of home runs. So that's only 2 that we've showed you so far. Buckle up here. Blue Jays tied this thing up 2 apiece, and the Blue Jays would be nowhere near done after that. Later in the inning, bases loaded for Varsho, and George Kirby's pitch gets by Cal Raleigh. 1 run is going to score. Now the Blue Jays lead 3-2. Later in the at-bat, Varsho lines one to right field. This one's going to go right on off that wall. 2 more runs are going to score. The Blue Jays score 5 runs in the 3rd inning. They take the 5-2 lead. So it feels like it's not out of reach just yet for the Mariners. But the Blue Jays say, we are not done yet. Top of the 4th now. Base is empty for George Springer. It's still 5-2. Springer laces one straightaway center field into the abyss. Goodbye. Blue Jays now lead 6-2. Show them hearts. Let's go to the 5th inning. Still 6-2 here. Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leading off. And this is the home run that X was talking about. It's just over the wall, solo home run. He was not great in the first 2 games. In this game, though, he showed up big.
Did a great job turning it around, finding a way to make an adjustment, and you saw it right there off his bat.
Blue Jays lead 7-2. Here's Alejandro Kirk driving one to deep right field. That's a 3-run bomb, and that would pretty much be the dagger. Or what is that thing called, that sword thing? Anyways, Mariners win at 13-4. They now trail the series just 2-1. After the game, here's Buster Olney with Vlad Guerrero. It's new on SportsCenter.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you guys scored 13 runs with 18 hits, 5 home runs. What was that like?
I mean, that feel good, especially we 0-2, we come in and try to win the first inning, and thank God we come with a W today.
John Schneider told us before the game he thought that you guys had to make an adjustment to get the ball in the air. How did you do that?
I mean, we believe in the shoulder, we believe and we grind, and all year we've been grinding, and to me it's like just one game at a time, one at a time, and thank God we're winning today.
Big night for you, and that last plate appearance when you hit the ball in the right center field gap, it looked like you had a mind maybe going for the cycle.
Yeah, I had a mind, but the third baseman coach, Fable, he has told me, and you got to listen to your coach. He has told me I stay in second.
Shane Bieber got off to a slow start. First inning, Rodriguez hits a 2-run homer. What adjustment did you see him make?
I mean, he one of the best in this, and he be in this place a lot of time. And to me, it's like he say, "Hey, guy, pick me up," and thank God he show who it is.
Max Scherzer in Game 4. How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel good. Tomorrow we're not flush today, and tomorrow we're gonna try to then come to win the first inning.
Vladdy, thanks.
Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, Buster, thank you. Let's go back to Shane Bieber. I'm watching that, X, and he's just given up a 2-run home run. The joint is jumping. They're going nuts. He looked very calm. He settles back, and he gives them a really strong outing. Talk to me about Shane Bieber, what he did tonight.
Yeah, I mentioned on the 5 o'clock SportsCenter that he was going to have to come with more off speed today and get some swing and miss. And ultimately, that's what he got today. That was the biggest adjustment, is able to get guys chasing his stuff a little bit more out of the zone. You mentioned the bounce back, right? The big swing early on in this game from Julio. Did a nice job of recognizing, hey, I don't have to try to be overly aggressive. All I'd have to do is go out there and throw strikes early in the count and see if they'll get some swings outside of the zone. He started getting that, and I like how he used multiple pitches in his arsenal to get swing and miss. It wasn't just the slider, it was also the knuckle curve, it was the fastball as well. So being able to lean on multiple different pitches within his arsenal gave him success even after the home run.
And he's coming off a rough outing, too.
Absolutely.
For him to settle down and get it done in Seattle in front of that crowd, very impressive.
Yeah, you could argue maybe tonight he was the X factor, if you will, for Toronto. As we know, Toronto dropped those first 2 games. They came roaring back, obviously, in Game 3. And so X is here. Let him give us now the X factor for Toronto in Game 4.
Yeah, I look at, it's got to be Max Scherzer. He's going to be the starter. And I think why I say he's the X factor is because this is a 41-year-old who has a lot of experience under his belt. He's got a postseason experience as well. We've seen him dominate all throughout the course of his career, but remember, he hasn't pitched up until this point. It's been a while since he's pitched, since we've seen him. I may not expect him to go deep into this ball game, but at the same time, they're going to need him to have some type of length to be able to bridge the gap towards their high leverage relievers. So giving them something, whether that's 3-4 innings of some type of dominance. You can't let this team get behind early, because we already saw what happened in the first 2 games when that happened.
Here's George Springer with Buster. It's new on SportsCenter.
George, offensive explosion tonight. What'd you see from your group?
Just good quality at bats up and down the lineup. Getting guys on, getting guys over and in. A huge at bat by Ernie to kind of slow things down for us, and then a big swing by Himmy, and then here we are.
Schneider said he felt like coming into this game, you guys had to get the ball in the air more, that an adjustment needed to be made. How did you guys do that?
Just get something to hit and don't miss it. That's a great staff. It's a great team. So for us to kind of slow things down, I think, and just kind of take it one at bat at a time was huge tonight, but it's on to tomorrow.
That home run to center field, 113 miles per hour, 431 feet. Describe what it felt like.
Just happy to hit one hard in that spot. I'm not trying to do that, just looking to hit something hard, and I was able to.
What'd you see in Shane Bieber tonight? Gives up the home run in the first inning and then makes his own adjustments.
Yeah, he was huge. He kept us in the game, allowed us to be us. That's why he's here.
How you feeling going into Game 4 with Max Scherzer on the mound?
Excited. It's gonna be a fun game. I know guys are ready to go, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
George, thanks.
All right.
See ya.
Blue Jays big. The Mariners give up a chance to put a hammerlock on the series. Here's Dan Wilson, their skipper.
Dan, obviously not what you wanted to see from George. Can you walk us through what you were seeing from him, and when did you think you needed to pull the string on it, and do you regret not going earlier?
I think, I thought it came out one of the best fastballs we've seen the first couple innings. I thought the way it was coming out of his hand, he looked great. And then, they were able to get to some pitches on the plate a little bit and in that third inning. And then, it was, I think it was 4 2-out runs there at that point, and trying to, get him through that and because he was throwing the ball so well. This is a team that has swung the bat well all year, and they didn't miss much tonight, and they were able to get to him.
Questions for Dan? Yeah, Daniel. Dan, we saw Brian go out to the bullpen in the third inning. Under what circumstances were you considering going to him?
I think, a good chance for him tonight to just get out there and get acclimated in case that's a place where he comes out of, later in the series. And so, a chance to just get comfortable out there and see what it's like. So that's really what it was about tonight for Brian.
First row on your left, Dan, Adam.
It looked like the Blue Jays were aggressive with George early. What did you notice in their approach?
Yeah, I mean, again, the first couple innings, I thought he was dynamite and really came out at good location and good heaters coming out of his hand and was able to, keep him in check. And then, this is a team that's going to hurt you if you make mistakes on the plate. It looked like there were a couple that they were able to get to, and really that's where it was at that point. Our guys, we get ahead. That's what we do, and they'll continue to do that. But you still have to make good quality pitches, and there were some that caught a little bit of plate. But I thought again, the way he looked early on, I thought we were in good shape.
Third row, right center, Annie.
Julio gets the homer early, but then Bieber really settles down there. What did you see from him in those middle innings, and did you see any adjustment he made?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, it's, Julio getting a pretty good pitch to hit there in that first inning, and I thought he did a really good job of driving that ball on the line. And then I thought, as good pitchers do, they get a little bit more comfortable. They get settled in. Their command comes back. Their stuff comes to him a little bit, and looked like he just was able to get comfortable, get into a bit of a rhythm, and find his secondaries. And once that happened, they were able to get the lead, and then he was able to protect it.
Third row in your far left, Dan.
Victor made that catch in the stands in the right field in the third inning and was shaking off his arm a few times and kind of reminded me of the injury in April. Was it just a stinger? Was he okay?
Yeah, I think he was all right. But that's the kind of effort Vic gives, and that's what you're going to see, especially this time of year. He's going to continue to go all out, and you're right. It was sort of reminiscent of that play down in San Francisco. But great effort on his part to make that play.
Third row in the middle, Dan.
Dan, just obviously you have a wave of emotion and momentum coming into this game, and then they put 13 runs on you, and you have a team that's bounced back a lot of times this season. But is there a message for that group, or do you just have the confidence that they know what they're doing and they're going to do that again?
Again, this is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back, being resilient. We've used a lot of words for it, but tomorrow's going to be that opportunity again for us, and these guys know how to prepare and be ready for that. And I don't expect it's going to be an issue for them at all. This is a team that has proven over and over again that fighting back, bouncing back, having resiliency is a part of their DNA, and tomorrow's a chance to do that again.
Hey, John, at least for now, does the Andres home run have the feeling of a series-changing home run for you guys?
It's a big swing, I think, again, we're focused on tonight, and tomorrow we'll focus on tomorrow. But, I think just kind of, I said it during the game, kind of in that situation, runner at second, nobody out, taking a shot, and trying to be aggressive on Kirby's fastball. So you never know how the game's going to go. You never know who it's going to be, right? But really, really big swing to get us going, and then kind of on down the line that inning. But that was a big swing from Andres.
Second row, your left, John. Mike.
John, 3 of the first 4 hitters walk, homer, double, and some really loud contact against Bieber there. What changed that he was able to do what he did after the Polanco double?
I think just he was Shane, I think probably a little amped up coming out in the first, and then, just kind of an arm side miss to Julio, and first pitch breaking ball to Polanco. He navigated that situation. But to me, biggest inning of the game was the second. He strikes out the side, kind of keeps the game in check a little bit. And then he had really good command. His fastball, he spotted it. The breaking balls were awesome, slider especially, changeup too. I thought that he got into a really good rhythm, retired a bunch in a row there. But the second inning to kind of keep the game where it should be, that's just a sign of a veteran pitcher.
But as big as the second inning was, he wasn't able to get a shutdown inning in his last start against the Yankees either time. So how big was the third?
Yeah, third, fifth. I mean, they're all big, but I think, again, I've said it a lot. It's why you acquire a guy like Shane, and you just see how he is. He was making big pitches, It's a big pitch to Cal for the strikeout too. It's fun to watch guys like that work, and it was exactly what we needed tonight.
We can stay there with Gregor.
John, it seems like this season, whenever people have really started to doubt you guys, whether it's regular season, playoffs, you guys have responded with an awful lot of fight. How much satisfaction do you guys kind of take in the room of kind of proving people wrong like that?
Yeah, it's kind of been what we did all year, again, no one expected us to win the division. No one expected us to be here, and I think the guys take that to heart. And I couldn't be prouder of the way they came about today, or the way they went about today, right? We talked before the game about normalcy, and it's one thing to say it and force it, but it's another thing to do it and live it. So I'm proud of the way they did it. And there's some adjustments you have to make as you go. Again, it's a 7-game series. It's not a 1-game series, not a 3-game series. So there's going to be adjustments we need to make tomorrow, and they're going to be ready for it.
Up front of your right, John, Ryan.
John, you said it on the broadcast, and you said it earlier, just be ready to hit the fastball. Given how much Kirby is almost obsessive trying to get ahead, I mean, were you going up? Was that kind of the pre-game meeting, like, hey, look for the fastball early because he's going to try and get ahead, especially if he misses first pitch?
Yeah, a little bit. It's tough because, after the first 2 games, that's been our plan with all these guys. These guys are very similar, and they all have really good stuff. So it kind of comes down to quality of contact, which, we had today. We don't want to deviate from what we've been doing. And, if you take away the fastball, you could see where he kind of went to the slider heavy. Vlad kind of sat on one, hits it out to center. I just thought we executed a really good game plan and approach against him, knowing that he's gonna come right after you. And it's a difference between trying to just put the ball in play and trying to do some damage. So that was the adjustment we were shooting for today.
Third row on your left, John.
All 3 games, the batters have been very aggressive, especially with tonight. Kirby, he's going to be around the plate, doesn't walk many. But what switched? What was different about this game? Because you were aggressive in all 3.
5 homers, for one. I think that stands out, but it's a sign of a good process. It's a sign of adjustments that are being made, and I'll trust Pop and Lou and Hunter to do that 365 days out of the year with our guys, and then for our guys to go do that. So the approach didn't really change. I think the result changed, really. We were trying to, I said it before the game, beat him to the spot on certain pitches. And you have to make adjustments as you see fit as you go. But I thought we just stayed pretty relentless on Kirby and then had some big add-on runs late.
Let's now bring in Eduardo Perez, who called the Blue Jays-Mariners game tonight for ESPN Radio. And so let's talk more about George Kirby. Usually reliable, got tagged for 5 runs in that 3rd inning, Eduardo. How were the Blue Jays able to get such an effective pitcher in the 3rd inning like that?
Well, he's effective in the zone, and he's got great control. So as a hitter, right-handed or left-handed, you know that you can dig in against Kirby. Now, that being said, you still have to sit on the fastball, and Clement started the inning off with that double. That was a sinker. First pitch, was able to get on second. And then you end up getting Jimenez that pulls the baseball, trying to move him over, but he got a fastball second pitch and was able to take him deep. Now the team is starting to get a little energy. The crowd is out of it. And then they continue to stay on the fastball till he realizes, man, I got to switch it up. And when he switched it up, the Blue Jays were ready. They were prepared. They were relentless. And I love the word right there that John Schneider used, because that's exactly what they did. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. They did not miss their pitches. And because they did not miss their pitches, they were then able to hit the secondary pitch really well early in counts. And by that time, they had scored 5 runs on him, and they had a 3-run lead before he allowed 8 total before the 4 innings were over for him.
Yeah, well, and you talk about the adjustments that were made and then the Blue Jays being ready for it. Look no further than Vlad Jr., who got to Kirby in the 5th with that solo home run. What kind of impact does Vladdy bring to that Blue Jays lineup?
Oh, man. It's what everybody's been talking about. It's what I was talking about since this morning, is if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. starts hitting, it relaxes everyone else. And because he came into the game 0 for 7 and 0 for 6, and his last 6 outs were on the ground, he gets an infield hit, and after that, everything else was in the air, and it was hard. Hits one off the wall, hard. Hits one over the wall, hard. Hits one in the right center field gap for another double. Everything was solid, and then everybody else just seems to say, okay, Vladdy's back. Now we can do our thing, and that's exactly what they did.
It seems like teams are just capitalizing on these road games, and so the natural follow-up here is, can the Blue Jays capitalize on this momentum here for Game 4?
Well, because they came out with a major statement tonight. This is one of the things I was talking with Kevin Pillar as well, is it wasn't like a 4-3-0. This could have gone either way. This was a statement game for the Toronto Blue Jays. They whooped some booty here, and they did it really well. They did it solid. They hit balls off the wall, over the wall, 5 home runs total, and they pitched well. And the biggest thing about this is they didn't use their high leverage guys, and neither team did, but they needed their rest. Their high leverage guys needed at least 2 days off. They got those 2 days off. Now tomorrow, John Schneider can ride them and see how Max Scherzer does in his game.
Yep, Max Scherzer on the bump, obviously, for Game 4, as you just mentioned there, Eduardo. Hasn't pitched in a minute, pushing 40 years old. What do you expect to see from him?
Well, he's well rested, that's for sure. And the leash is going to depend on Max's command of his pitches. If he's able to throw the breaking stuff, he's going to have to mix it in. It's not about the four-seam 98, 99 mile per hour pitches that he used to throw. He's going to have to pitch. He's going to have to keep those Seattle hitters off balance. If he's able to do that at least 2 times around the order and keep them in the game, then you'll see the Varlands. Then you'll see Sir Anthony Dominguez. Then you'll see Little with matchups. Then you'll be able to see Hoffman. But the Seattle Mariners are going to have to respond, and the way to neutralize the Toronto Blue Jays and Max Scherzer is by pitching. So Luis Castillo has his work cut out for him tomorrow to try to silence this offense that really silenced the crowd here in Seattle.
Yeah, Blue Jays win Game 3, but it is there in Seattle. Before you go, Eduardo, have you hit the fish market yet?
Tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I got some Dungeness crab. I got some salmon ready to throw. I might even go with Tim Kirchin and throw him across as well.